Hello, welcome to today's The Word in a Flash. I'm Dr. Freddie B. Wilson. Today's subject is friendship in marriage. Deciding to get married is one of the biggest decisions you ever make in your life. It's a major decision that you have to be careful when considering who should be your spouse. We often seek approval from our friends and family as to which person we should marry. We love to get them to accept the person that we choose to marry. There are some things that only God can accomplish. You should mainly turn to God for approval as to who you should choose as your mate. Keep in mind, no sexual or sensual relationship with a human being will ever satisfy cravings of the flesh. Without help, the craving will just intensify until you lose control. God is the only person that people should lust after. This is especially true since sometimes our friends and mates will let us down. You really need to get to know your potential mate for who they are before you get married. A case in point is that a friend of mine shared a story with me where he prayed that God bless him with a spouse. He met this young lady he thought was really nice. He tried to do everything the right way to include making sure she was a Christian and not just a believer. They didn't have any sex before they got married, and they received marriage counseling. Well, everything went well until after they got married and a whole host of financial problems hit them, and then his job moved him to another state. She couldn't take it. She didn't know how to deal with the situation, so eventually she filed for divorce. But my friend realized that his faith and trust in God is more important than trying to blame God for his situation. There is some sanity in the old expression that our spouses should be our best friends. Unfortunately, that's not always true. You and your spouse should be at least good friends. All intimate relationship with those of the opposite sex should be based on friendship first. We must be careful about with whom we become intimate. Real intimacy is a journey into the unknown. It adds a new dimension to life. Commitment and loyalty are a part of love. Without it, you have nothing. Beware. In our search for intimacy, we must close the door on anything that may cause us to stop loving God. If the person you're considering getting intimate with wants to pull you away from your relationship with God, slow down, evaluate the situation, and pray to God that He shows you what to do with this person. If God is leading you away from this person, don't be afraid that you may not be able to meet somebody else or someone better. God has your back. So when God tells you something, take heed and listen to His wise counsel. I caution you against the casual dating that is also prevalent in the world today. Any serious dating should lead to marriage, not just playing around with people's emotions. Anything below that is a waste of your time. Keep in mind, we're not talking about platonic relationship. That's a different matter altogether. You can spend time with a friend in a platonic relationship that has no issues or no intent on becoming intimate. There is no time limit or higher level relationship expected in platonic friends. This should enhance a Christian's personal life and servitude to the Lord. God created all of us with a need to have friends. As I mentioned earlier, it is said that your spouse should be your best friend. I must caution you that a sexual relationship that develops early on in your dating experience prevents true friendship from ever developing. Premarital sex can cause an emotional stunting in a relationship. Proverbs 17:17 says that a friend loves at all times and a brother is born for adversity. Since your wife or your husband is your best friend, you should commit yourself to being faithful to them. You can't consider someone your best friend if they don't believe in you. Best friends believe in one another. In Christian friendships and in marriage, there are times that you're going to have to speak into each other's lives. There will be issues that we have to deal with, and there are corrective things that we have to say to one another. That's why it's good to have a good foundation and a friendship in order for that kind of thing to work out. But this will require a firm foundation of belief in one another, especially in marriage. In marriage and in other close personal relationships, you have to embrace your differences. Differences can either be dangerous or dynamic in relationships. The outcome will be determined by how we choose to respond to the differences between us and our spouses. Best friends will look at each other appreciatively and acknowledge how they complete one another. They should be able to count on the other's strength and support each other through their weaknesses. God will place people in your life for many different reasons. God will place some people in your life to help you or support you for a season or for a lifetime. God will place other people in your lives so you can help them or speak the word into their lives. Many relationships are mutually beneficial to both parties. For whatever reason, seek God's counsel on what you should do with or say to a friend. If you seek His will, God will put the right things in your mouth to say or show you to do the right things. Never place a limit on what God can do in your life. And don't be afraid to show your true self to the people God placed before you. In marriage, commit yourself to your relationship and always work to keep and build the friendship. I pray God blesses you in your daily walk.